Hi, YouTube. Excuse me. I hope you're doing well. I am doing okay. I've been a little sad this whole last week. I've been recovering from the week before. Um, it always seems to be something that I'll be just on top of my game, so full of energy, working and doing things, and then, quite frankly, I'll have a wrench thrown in it by somebody and out of my control and nothing I can do about it, whether it's being kept up or nonsense or whatever it is. It's, Satan's got his minions around every corner. So, you know, um, anybody will backstab you if they think that they're going to get ahead somehow by doing that. So I'm going to talk to everybody about moving on with friendships and trust. How do we move on in this world with a trusting spirit? Oh, that, my friends, is a big damn deal, because the people that are shady in life, they're going to act like they trust everybody and anyone, but it just isn't like this in the world, and we do have to beware of who we're around and, guard our peace, you know. And people will, well, they don't always like to see you peaceful, even if they're acting happy. They can be very tumultuous inside, they can be full of turmoil, and you might not even recognize it. You might mistake it for maybe a free spirited or um, outgoing or kind of like a leadership or a mentor type of stuff. And in all reality, I won't. I was going to say they have screws loose. That's a ruder way of putting the fact that they aren't all together, but yet they're trying to tell you how to get your stuff together, and that's a problem. I have a big problem with that. Like I told Doug this morning, I don't trust anybody. I mean, I have a few friends that I'd probably even trust over Doug, but and he knows that. I don't hide that. Why would I? I'm too straightforward. I can't do that. Like if I'm listening to somebody that I admire on their video, like if they're talking about things that interest me and or that I've lived through those types of things and I can just hear what they're saying. Um and I love somebody as a friend, I'm not going to shut up because that's who I am, you know. A lot of people want to shut me up. A lot of people want to isolate me and make it so I don't have any friends. Yeah, but it hasn't worked too well for them because I end up making friends no matter where I go anyway. And I'm still thinking about heading out because I don't see that, although Doug's been working hard and he's sober, but I don't see it as a close relationship. And I didn't get in this for companionship. He sees me as his sister. Well, gee, I sure wished he would have said that when we first met. No, he said, "Do I ever think that maybe we could have been brother and sister in another life?" I think he knows full well, and I didn't. So, joke's on me. I'm listening to a woman named Gloria Masters. She's from New Zealand. She's written a book on child sex trafficking and being brought up in a Masonic home. And what she said, what her dad did to her, was similar what I went through. I think I was 4. She said she was 3. She was put in an apple crate. They used to have slats. And then he put another one on top and nailed it shut. And her mother was like an absent, narcissistic mother looking the other way, not caring what happened to her kid, as long as they could make money off that kid or do what they wanted to do with it, whatever their plans were. But a lot of what she's been through is really similar to what I went through. I had one time been locked in a closet, and my dad and my brother sat outside the closet, terrifying me. I was afraid of the dark. I was 4, and I did cry myself to sleep. I was screaming at first, and then I just ran out of energy. I think they ran out of energy too, and eventually I was let out of there, but I was in there for a very long time, and just weird things like, like the mothers trying to sexualize their daughters so the men around them will be attracted to the daughter for whatever reason. These women do that stuff. There's no nurturing mother in her right mind that would act like that, but we're not talking about a normal situation here, you know. But I am going to leave the link to her video in here. You might want to listen to it. And she's talking about the statistics with men and women in her country, and she thinks it's a lot more too, that 1 in 3 women have been sexually assaulted somehow by the time they're like 12, and it's like 1 in 4 boys that don't usually have an opportunity to even talk about it, or nowhere to go to talk about these horrific things that have happened to us or you or them. So you might find what she's talking about really interesting. And she did write a book, one telling about her, her memoirs, her biography, and the other one is a help book, for which I haven't read, so I can't really recommend the books or anything. But I believe her. I rarely, especially if they're Masonically connected, I'll rarely believe them, because this type of thing happened to my grandmother and my mother, and I mean, that's a generational thing. And they don't care who they use as long as they can get what they want out of life. Even if it's their own children, they sacrifice. And that is what's going on in a big way. And not only in Masonic homes. I shouldn't say Masonic homes, because that could include the Children's Home Society that's ran by the Masons, or the Shriners Hospital, which has a Masonic home for children where they cut off their limbs for various reasons. That's a very odd place, and I get a really bad vibe from it, and I never want to go around it again. But unfortunately, it exists over by a town called Elk River, Minnesota, over by where I was born, real close to St. Cloud, Sauk Center area. So, yeah, some weird stuff, but I am going to leave a link to her video, and she's a nice lady. I believe her. Like I said, I rarely believe these people that get up and say what's happened to them like that, because when they're Masonically connected, it's usually to lure you in to make some money off of stories that are true with other people, but not the people that are telling you about it. Yeah. So, very warm day here, probably about 90. Let's see, it is 88 I thought it was. So, but I'm going to get this uploaded with that. And I just want to touch on the fact that moving forward with trust with our friends, I do ask God. I talk to God. And um, maybe if I hadn't have been so desperate to have a friend and be close in my life with somebody, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in right now. But that's just the way it is. I mean, I know Doug watches my videos occasionally. Hi, Doug. I guess he watched one of them from yesterday. But, I mean, these are things I say to him anyway. So it's nothing I say or do is ever hidden. And I've never been one to hide anything from anybody. I just detest that shit. In fact, I love to speak my mind, so I'm so transparent that you don't have to guess what I'm thinking or feeling. Why should a person have to wonder how somebody's feeling? Nah. And even if you know, I guess that could be pretty repulsive too, right, folks? Yeah. Yeah, it can be. So, okay, I am probably going to make another video after this. I have another topic that I want to cover, but don't be afraid to love again and make friends and just, now you're coming from experience and there's clear signs on how people act, and there's more people out there talking about these disorders that would allow a person's mind to go in places that you couldn't even think of because your brain doesn't work like that. And once you start thinking on that dark side and the possibilities of how that other side would think, it'll make you sick. So, and some of you know that firsthand anyway. I'm not telling anybody. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm here as your friend, and I do love you. I really do. You know, I'm not here to hurt or offend, even if you have a spouse and they're kind of wacky. I pray for them. I'm not out to hurt anybody, but I'm not going to deny somebody that's going through hell. And it's not that I have to be in their life, but I want to be. If I like somebody, hey, I want to be your friend. Why wouldn't I? You know, so, and more good friends in our lives is exactly what all of us need. Some don't deserve it, but all of us need friends, you know. So, all right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. I'll be back later.